was Lego. Was it. I don't know. Dude, grab and build.
Okay.
If I'm the only one sitting here building, it's going to be really, make me really self-conscious.
All right, I'm going to be low to the ground. I think I connected with Lincoln Logs a little bit because maybe they were larger and more easy to handle, and I remember, I don't know if Legos are still like this, but I remember having to kind of, like, in some cases, to get them apart, there were these little tooth marks on my Legos from where
I've still got my Legos that have tooth marks on them from trying to pry the things apart. Yeah, they were, back in the day, they were inseparable often.
to the horror of our parents who rightly saw those as choking hazards.
Mine just saw the dentistry that they need to pay for. But that's, it's the difference too.
Yes.
Having parents, acting parents who grew up during the Depression and didn't have access to good dental care and were astounded how much it cost versus parents who grew up with that and the assumption that dental care was easy and affordable because we had insurance. So, different eras, different cultures, different expectations.
That's a nice roof.
Oh, it's nice.
Do you remember the roof lines we used to have?
Yes, the plastic ones that were dented and actually...
With like the flat slats so that
you could actually... They would lock into place.
Right. I recently only just discovered the genius of Spanish tiles for roofs.
Oh, where they have the lip, they have a lip above and they have a lip underneath, they kind of lock?
Because they're opposed, because there's a whole row of them on the bottom that's round side down, arrayed the same way, except that the wide end is facing the other direction. So it just naturally creates like a resistance, and it naturally promotes like runoff.
Yeah, and then you just put I think there's capstones along the top.
Yeah.
That are baked to show. Good design.
Yeah, I like the fact that you could tear them down pretty fast, but you were only limited by your ambition during recess.
Yeah, we didn't have these kinds of things in my schools when I was growing up. I don't know what that was about, but the only place I played with Lincoln Logs was at my house. The other kids didn't have Lincoln Logs, which I was surprised by. We all had blocks. We all had the little arches, the isosceles triangles, all that. I
just have to describe the awesome thing that you're building a very evolved version of a split rail fence that we saw earlier today.
Yeah, no, I love split rail fences. I always have as a kid. Having had to climb them to get into the meadows at the Tahoe, some places. In some ways they were a little more tricky to navigate than barbed wire because they were old.
Yeah, and full of bees.
Yes, yellow jackets.
Yeah. There was a piece of land that we rented in Weimar, Oregon in 1971 that was a trailer, and it had a split rail fence, which I thought was cool because I could understand it. I could look at it with my little 7-year-old eyes and brain and go, I know how that works. I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly, but I think there were bees involved in that one, so... I probably didn't play on that one as much as I thought I would have.
I do remember the split rails in Tahoe being home to wood paper wasps and yellow jackets.
Yeah.
And so here's an interesting tale. I was telling Alex. Alex, a couple months ago, because he got stung by a bee.
Ouch.
Yeah, well, it's a rite of passage. Was getting very afraid about the yellow jackets. And I told him a story about how when I lived in Tahoe, the yellow jackets in the wintertime hibernate. And one of their favorite places to hibernate is wood piles. So every winter, Dad got a cord of wood, and we hand split it, put a wood pile, big old stack, right by the trailer, which is where we kept our wood for the winter. And what my friends and I would do is we would go out in the wintertime and we would pull the logs apart, and you would find the yellow jackets curled up and hibernating in the wood.
Wow. That's cool.
And we would pick them up in our hand, kind of make a little cup, and go. And you'd heat them up, and then you'd let them go, and they'd be like, "Oh, great, it's spring!" And they'd fly, and they'd be like, "Oh, crap, it's not!" And kind of fall down to the ground, and and Alex was like, "Did you let them die?" And I said, "No, my friends did, but I would generally try to kind of find them and pick them up and put them back."
Give it back to the queen.
There is no queen.
Oh.
Wasps are not. They don't have a queen.
Oh.
If I'm not mistaken, they're not like ants. They're decentralized. They just kind of get together and they kind of build their own thing. I may be incorrect, but I don't believe there's a queen involved. They would just kind of fall to the ground and be like, "Oh, dude, what the? This is so uncool!" Boom, they hit the ground, and then we would. I also told them about when I was in high school. Really found them amazing. I just got really intrigued with the wasp and the yellow jacket form and the way they looked. And got used to letting them crawl on me. And I realized that they were really not interested in causing me any grief. They were just either hungry or curious or whatever. Or
are you food?
Are you food? Well, and I would let them crawl on my hands because I chew my fingernails. I get calluses around the edges, around the quick.
Okay.
And they loved the calluses. They would find a callus, they would hold on, they'd sit there, and they'd kind of take their little pincher saw blade jaws and kind of start working at them, and I'd kind of laugh and go, "Ha ha ha, good luck." My usual 13-year-old way, or 14-year-old way.
We can't make nests out of this.
No, they're like, "Dude, this is, oh my god, it smells awesome. It smells like meat, and you can't cut it. It's meat you can't cut. It's like meat rock."
What kind of prank is this?
Yes. Oh, cruel universe, what are you doing?